Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Welcome, 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 everyone. We are excited to be here once again with the beautiful Alicia Power. Alicia Power is here with us again in our beautiful Quantum Conversation studio. Today, we are talking about who the creator beings are. Who are they? Well, they've been working with Alicia for 3 decades now. And every time we come into this space, we are in such a beautiful frequency, and we can experience how these beings work with us. We can call on them to work with us. Alicia is going to tell us all about that. Hi, Alicia. Thank you, and welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Loren. It's such an honor to be here in this space with you. I always look forward to it because it's so sacred. Like, you just create such an incredible heart envelope for everybody to be in. It's just a thrill. I love it.
Oh, thank you. Well, we love this space as well. Again, as I said, every time we're in these frequencies, our life has changed. And I hear comments from the people who reach out every so often, and you are one of the leaders as spiritual teachers. People just love the work that you do, and you open up. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be someone who's just starting out on the awakening path, and it could be advanced ascension way showers. And it's truly remarkable. So here we are. For those who are new to you, that's going to be probably few right now, because we all know who you are. There's a huge number with us on our Zoom call and many joining us on our live stream. But for those who may be new to you, the creator beings, one of the big questions we get is, who are they? And that's what we're going to talk about today. And so I'm going to just let you start there and begin.
Wow.
Of course, who are the creator beings?
Wow, who are the creator beings? Wow. So quick story. I think, gosh, I've told this story so many times, but just quick context. So when I was 18, I jumped into following an Indian spiritual guru, an incredible avatar from India, from an incredible lineage of initiation into God source. This amazing spiritual teacher, followed this spiritual master for 16 years, lived in an ashram for 6 years, just full committed to giving my life to God, really at the age of like 21 through to about 26, which is kind of crazy in those earliest years of my life, but it kind of gave an indicator of what I was about, right? I just was zeroing in on what really mattered in this lifetime, which was God source and connecting in with God source. And when I was in my early 30s, 31, 32, universe tapped me on the shoulder and said, okay, pull away from that whole system and open up your psychic interface, your spirit telepathy. And this is classic, I talk about this recently, that monks who study meditation and go into deep stillness states, it's so easy for them to open up actually their psychic awareness and start interfacing with the worlds of spirit, even though that's not really their focus. It starts happening. So after all those years of meditation practice, it was really easy for me to start talking with the worlds of spirit, and the worlds of spirit pretty quickly introduced me to etheric body energy work. So I've been a forensic energy healer now for over 30 years. And watching them work, watching technicians work, my telepathy got better and better, because I was working as a journalist, and I'm curious, and I was just interviewing these guys all the time as they were working and watching what they were doing in the etheric body, of clients that would come as a professional energy healer. And after 2 years of watching these worlds of spirit, working in them, sort of upgrading my knowledge day by day by day of how the spirit world works and how the etheric, the energy bodies of the soul fields work, I got tapped on the shoulder, sort of sitting in a plane, and invited to connect with higher spirit mentors. And they introduced themselves as creator beings. And I was kind of used to interviewing spirit beings by this stage, really happily say, where are you from? What do you do? You know, what's your capability? What are you going to do with me? How are we going to walk forward together? So I kind of learned that these guys oversee, or the very first being, which is kind of a little bit in context here today of like about this universe and who are these creator beings. So that this very first actual creator being introduced itself to me and as a creator being, and that they were the sort of the primary motivation, the primary guy who thought up the idea for this particular universe. Not talking Mother Earth, not talking just human collective, we're talking about the spirit universe and how it was designed with the light and shadow in particular as two softwares that were interacting and creating like an intensity point of decision making, and how that was supposed to run as software, right? So this being introduced himself to me. He was the quote unquote guy, excuse me, who decided it was a good idea, put it to higher councils above him, who checkmarked it, you know, okayed it, and allowed it to roll into manifestation, including the physical dimension, you know, downstepping frequencies until the physical dimension precipitated and created incredible forms within which, you know, human sentient souls could come in as sentient souls and begin exploration of this physical dimension, and still playing in that light and shadow playground of decision making, of love over fear. So he was amazing, and this particular being, this overseer being, was my primary spirit mentor, meaning that because I was a really good telepath, meaning a two-way conversation in detail with the worlds of spirit, you know, many hours asking him questions. But not only that, he took me under his wing and started to awaken me faster, to accelerate the process of awakening, which is something that I encourage anyone who hears about me and hears about this work to connect with a creator being through one of the many elevated journeys we go up, and we meet these creator beings. And I encourage people to meet these creator beings and start a regular moment with them where you front up with them regularly and start having these moments where you ask for acceleration of awakening, which is what they're all about, and something I'll be talking about a little bit later on. Won't be a sec. Anyway, so this incredible initial being just worked with me for 10 years. And one of the the really big things that he did was spent time with me traveling into my Akashic records and into my soul wounds, and finding the really big soul wounds, like the 5 or 6, 7 really huge soul wounds, and closing darkness portals and shadow portals from way back then, because otherwise they're still running our lives. There's still access points for shadow deep in our psyche if we don't get those closed and start the process of strengthening the scaffolding of our Akashic crystal, you know, soul bodies. So this is all very esoteric and sort of almost theoretical for people listening, but it changes your life. You notice that you become more buoyant and strong and empowered as a soul, as that that witness that's looking out of your eyes. Just saying. Anyway, so this being finally, after about 10 years, introduced me, there was another moment where this being introduced me to teams or councils of creator beings above him, which blew my mind. But that's fine, you know, because I'm sort of, by then I was kind of like so used to my mind being blown. I was letting my logic just, like a little puppy, just hang along for the ride. This is what when you're working with the worlds of spirit, they start revealing the worlds of spirit to you. You know, you start walking into the worlds of spirit and flying into the worlds of spirit with them and looking around, and you really do have to leave your little logic behind in order to see what's there, because it's much bigger than your logic. And it's the only way for us to grow and reclaim our full capability as a soul is to, anyone who works, any of you watching who work with the worlds of spirit as a Reiki practitioner or as an energy healer or as a shamanic healer, you know that you have to leave your logic behind and move into a higher logic, move into a higher intelligence that sees what's there and accepts it. So yeah, it's part of the initiation of, hey, 1 foot in the human world and 1 foot in the spirit world. And it's very, very important to be brave about that and to allow the spirit world to reveal to you yourself, your great soul, you know, as you look at yourself, but also who is running the show in the worlds of spirit. It's a huge moment of bravery to just start walking into the worlds of spirit and holding their hand and saying, yes, I'm going to look into these spaces and I'm going to grow up and mature as a spirit and as a soul. So
it's really very, I just want to say it's really, thank you for sharing this part of the story, because for those of us who are doing the clearing work, getting over the soul wounds, and we open up to this energy, we're beginning to have experiences. More and more people are having experiences. And yet there's this level of trust or doubt that might come in. But then our experience as we move through it time and time again overrides any of that doubt. Can you share a little bit about any doubt that you might have witnessed? I mean, here you were on an airplane. Was there any room for doubt, or were you just so attuned at that time in your life that there was no more doubt because of all the meditation that you did with the gurus and in the ashram? What was that like for you, and how did you, what do you recommend for us that may have doubt?
Yes, and it's very natural to have doubt. I had doubt in those very first months when people were already coming to me because they knew that I was channeling, and I was already my expertise in channeling and teaching spirit telepathy. So people were coming pretty quickly and asking me to bring these spirit beings through it, in order for the spirit world, these beautiful spirit technicians, to work in their auric field, to alleviate their psychic pain, to alleviate their lack of awakening, let's just say that. But in those very first weeks, months, as a client was lying on a healing table and these spirit technicians, I was getting used to them coming into my auric field and very, very appropriately, gently moving my body, right, as an extension of them. So I was, that beautiful dance, that beautiful partnership with the worlds of spirit, that beautiful awakening and trust building was starting to happen with me as I kind of noticed that they could move my arm, or they could move my consciousness and my attention to a point in that person's auric field. But where my attention went, it was like I was a periscope for the worlds of spirit, where they could then see something through my consciousness, like in that quantum way, you know, where what you see, actually the worlds of spirit need you to be able to see it, and then they can go in. So I had doubt. I was laughing and giggling at myself because my arms were doing things and my hands were doing things. And I was describing this recently, where I was watching in the visuals, rays of light like scalpels going in and cutting and splicing etheric fabric. And then my hand would go like that, and then like a big fat ray of light would come out, was like a vacuum cleaner, would pull out all the concreted, broken up concreted shadow energy out of that person's chakra point or wherever it was. And at one point, you know, I was just giggling because if there was nobody else in the room, but I would say to myself, if anybody would be watching me, they'd just think I was crazy, because I was just, my hands were moving in really specific ways and doing things and scooping and doing all kinds of really interesting things. But my poor logic was going, oh my God, you know, if anyone could see me. And then my spirit teachers, my spirit tutors said to me, don't worry, just keep going forward. Like let your doubt just move with you. Keep moving forward with this. Because interestingly, the indicators and the proof begins to build to your logical mind. And yeah, and after a while, your logic's quite happy because it's seen enough.
Mm-hmm.
There's this really interesting phase where your logic starts to get relaxed and comfortable and let itself kind of melt into the background, so that we step into the worlds of spirit with this open video camera and we start letting bigger realities show up, and our logic is quiet in the back. so yeah, it's a process and to start with, it takes trust, it takes longing, like a longing to come home to the bigger reality of what's really going on here. So anyway, it's a beautiful thing. The angel in you, everybody here on this call, the angel in you is bigger than your logic, and it's pushing, it's striding forward. It's got a mission. And you know what? I'm going to start talking a little bit about why these creative beings have shown up and who they are. So let's do that. So I just want to talk about, so that angel in you is on a mission. It's jumped into a human body for a short period of time. It's going to jump back out again. And weirdly, it's jumped in right at this crescendo time I'm being asked to say right now, for these incredible spirit beings, these creator beings are saying right now. So you're looking out of a human face right now. You're looking at me, you're looking at Loren, and there's an incredible reason why your angel soul, your soul self, has incarnated at this coordinate point in time and space, just right now, as you're looking at me, in this moment. You know, all of those moments that have come to this moment as you're looking at me. And it's a very poignant longing of the soul, of your angel soul, to be here right now. So if you could imagine your angel soul that's so huge, so vast, it's nearly as big as this universe. Your soul is, your angel soul. It's enormous. It's got enormous power, and it's got enormous bravery, really has. Your soul has, your angel soul has. And it could see that shadow and light were struggling in this dynamic to stay balanced together. And that shadow as a software was literally out of control. And that it very sneaky, designed as a software to overrun shadow, to shut shadow down. We've all heard this before. But yeah, it was like a virus, like a Trojan horse virus that was just creeping through so much of the territory of spirit light. And so your incredibly huge soul decided this was not good enough. And with enormous force, your soul decided to put its hand up, to stand in front of councils, to stamp your feet and say, I, as a soul, have the power to make a change if I'm allowed to squeeze myself into a human body. I have the power as a soul to make change and in this dynamic. So don't try and think about that with your human logic, because your soul and your vast angel self is much bigger than your human logic. But you can maybe connect in with a force of fortitude, of courage, of just this feeling of empowerment. And that's the reason you have jumped into the spacesuit of your human self at this time, in this moment, because you really are like Archangel Michael with a flaming sword. You really are at that level as a soul. I know that's a little bit controversial, but I just want to quietly say, looking into your eyes, that you are. And you've got a lot of skill to swing that flaming sword. And that's why you were feeling very empowered to come in and incarnate at this time. And I'm doing you a great service by looking into your eyes and saying, remember that enormous feeling of capability that you had and that decision that you made. And one of the reasons why these overseer creator beings who oversee universes, they've dropped their light, they've dropped like a certain force of light into this universe to find you and for that light to touch your lower auric fields, the fields that are closer to your human body. Because as that light touches those lower fields, those denser fields closer to your physical body, there's this wonderful domino effect that happens. And this dawning starts happening inside of you, like these dominoes falling. This dawning erupts from inside of you of that power, remembering that power that you have. So what I'm about to say is a little controversial, but there's a part of you that knows it's true. And that is that there's no one else here except you, and that you've come to stand in the face of shadow, quietly, just to stand in the face of it, and to present your light to it, and to hold your light to it. And the creator beings have arrived to assist you to do that. First of all, to help you unfold and awaken to that incredible sheer power that you have. And then to help you stay steady, and hold your light steady in the face of shadow. And to remember that power that you are. That this is the number one reason they've come. Excuse me. And there's a part of you that knows that you need to reach up and grab hold of that rail. It's like somebody who's been in the ocean and who needs to haul themselves up on an ocean liner that's arrived out of the mist and saved you, and you've got to actually now climb up, you know, that little ladder that's on the side of the ocean liner. It's a huge ocean liner. It's very powerful. It's going to take you where you want to go, but now's the moment where you grab hold of the rail and start climbing and accept the help. And the help is the light from these creator beings. It's a type of software that when it touches you, you start remembering, and you start allowing that power, that remembrance of your power to come back, and that strength to come back, so that you comfortably stand in the face of shadow, comfortably, and relax, knowing that this huge ocean liner is carrying you now because it's arrived. So just a quiet moment right now, you guys, everybody watching, that this is not a small thing, and it's not a small moment, and that the light from these creator beings is not a backstory or something to kind of shoot past, but it could actually be that ocean liner showing up in the mist as you're in the ocean. And it really doesn't matter, as Lauren was just saying, you know, how advanced down the path of spiritual training and spiritual development you're in. When creator beings from above universes somehow show up in your life, it's not a small moment. And I don't own these guys. They have taught me over 30 years how to partner with them, how to instruct them, how to work with them so that realities get shape-shifted and resculpted, because they are creator beings. They sculpt realities. That's what they do. Like it's all in a day's work for them. So there's skills to learn, but the most important thing is to allow their light into your auric field. In a moment, we're going to go up and go into a journey where we're going to meet one of these creator beings, and we're going to do a little process where you're going to talk to your beautiful big angel soul and ask it why it decided to incarnate. It's again, this is an awakening moment, designed, puppeteered, for whatever reason you've decided to come on this call, this is a juncture moment in your life, in your incarnation, so that you have a penny drop, so that you have a reminder of why you've come. And that really small little awareness that I gave you just before, that there's nobody else here except you, and that you hold a lot of power. You know, I'd love for that to soak right in. It's a crazy thought, isn't it? Our logic just doesn't understand it. Our logic does not understand how this holographic plasma of this reality works, and that you know, we can have theoretical ideas of sovereignty and ownership, but in the quantum, there's no theory. It just is what it is. It works how it works. So it is the truth. There's no one here except you. And as you stand in your power and your remembrance and your light, you can sculpt realities. And this is not giving your power away or your sovereignty away, but there's an opportunity to start moving super fast, not only in your awakening, but in your capability of changing realities. And that's a really big thing. That's starting to own a long lost memory. You see, memory is not theoretical. Remember this, guys? It's not a logical, theoretical thing. Memory is an awakening. It's a visceral awakening and a realization that from that point onwards you carry with you and you understand. It's way beyond theory. So you can't read about it in a book and get it. I'm just going to see if these creative beings want to say anything else before we jump into a process. Might be a moment. They're very excited to jump into this process with you, they're telling me, because it just makes all the difference to you remembering your power. And they just want to reiterate that working with them and partnership with them generates sort of beyond the imagination levels of acceleration in regaining your power, in regaining your full memory of yourself as soul, as this vast being of light that you are. And that's what everything is about. Every single little circumstance in your life is about that, you remembering yourself as a soul. It's an incredible game we've decided to play down here, sitting in a human body, bumping into circumstances, split second by split second, and going through a process of trying to remember our power, right? Because it is a split second by split second moment of, am I disempowered or am I empowered at any moment? So the whole game is about empowerment, disempowerment. And so the remembering of power is everything that this life is about. So I've shown up, these creative beings shown up, and remember, it's about diksha, which is an ancient Sanskrit word for exposure. It's kind of like darshan, it's another Sanskrit word. It's called exposure to a frequency, soaking in it, flying hours of exposure of a certain frequency, because that frequency does the job of pulling you up onto the huge superliner that's arrived. It pulls you up, pops you in a safe seat, and the superliner just turns into a spaceship and starts, the throttle turns up and the speed starts accelerating. Okay, so let me just see. Lorraine, before we jump into this process, any questions about that? I remember now what I would need to talk about.
It's so beautiful. Yes, no, it's just really allowing the light. Allowing the light. I think that's really a good clincher for all of us, and to shine that light and to really feel the power in that light. And I just want to mention real quick, because of the work that we've done here with you and your programs, I've actually had experiences of this remembrance, but it just feels like it's going to accelerate. We'll get stronger at it. We will get stronger at recognizing when we're sensing those frequencies. And that's just so beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, Lorraine,
Thank
that is
you.
absolutely true. Just one quick thing, and it relates to something we'll talk about a bit later on, and that is that, you know, I've, over many, many years, over these 30 years, I've recorded channeled workshopping where we jump into elevators of light, go up into the world of spirit, and stand in front of these creator beings. And many students use these recordings as elevators to get into the worlds of spirit in front of these creator beings, and to workshop their life, to upgrade their soul light, to go into those soul wounds and start closing down those ancient gateways. So what I'm saying here is that there's so much opportunity on demand to travel up into the worlds of spirit and to work with them, to workshop with them. They're waiting. They're always waiting up there in these secret places that they take us to. Anyway, that's just a really big thing. I just want to quickly mention everybody, and it's something that your soul wants to remember as well. And that is that these creator beings gave the go-ahead of for this spirit universe, this particular spirit universe, to develop, to unfold, to go ahead with that whole dynamic of shadow and light. And I don't know, you know, it turned into something that they, for some reason, had not imagined, and that is that shadow has proliferated. And these creator beings showed up 30 years ago. I can't believe it's been 30 years, honestly. Feels like yesterday. Anyway, they showed up and they tapped me on the shoulder, as I mentioned, and I've been working with them ever since and introducing people to these creator beings, you know, to get as many people accelerated as possible through their light frequency. But it's, what I want to say here is that their light has the capacity, and this is the great news. This is really good news for your soul, beautiful angel self looking at me right now, is that their light, I really want you guys to hear this, that their light easily transmutes shadow. They have a capability of not only sculpting and shaping and creating realities with human permissions, but they own the space. They own the spirit space. Owning meaning they're above in the jurisdiction of the guys that generated the spirit space of this universe. So they are above in jurisdiction. So they own it from that point of view that they, with our permission, can come in to this universe, spirit space, the spirit universe I'm talking about, and seek and find huge currents and layers of shadow and transmute them. This is important information for your logic to hear, because we don't even think about shadow in those terms much, or how vast even shadow is, because we're concerned with what's showing up on the physical plane, you know, on the screen of our movie, collective and personal. That's where our preoccupation is. But behind that reality screen are vast currents of shadow and vast currents of light. These are sentient forces pushing and pulling against each other, having battles, trying to gain territory. This is useful information for your angelic self to remember, because it knows. And then for me to say that these overseers of universes have brought their light into this equation, into this situation, and have spent a lot of time quietly shutting down many of these high currents, and are still doing it, still doing a cleanup job, because it proliferated very widely. So I'm just saying that their ability to do a job is, you know, it's a snap for them. It really is. However, they kind of need our consciousnesses as periscopes in a way. I don't recommend you guys go into those really high spaces. That's not for you. It's quite a initiation to hold this, to be able to hold the space, and to get a lot of flying hours under your belt before you start doing anything like that. But so I don't recommend it, but I'm just saying these are very, very powerful, these creative beings, huge power, huge capability. And they are on your side, and they want to love you. They want to awaken you. They want you to blossom back into that huge angelic being that you are, that vast, vast power that you are. They are on your side. They're walking with you. They want to put their hand in your hand, and they want to walk with you, and they want to kind of tickle you awake, coax you awake with so much compassion, with so much love, with so much joy, with so much patience, a lot of impeccability, carefully, so that you're not disorganized in any way. So they've put a lot of flying hours into learning about human consciousness and how how an ancient soul sitting in a human body can awaken. They've learned how to do that, giving you lots of confidence, everybody who's watching this, that this is a powerful moment. Right, let's go, let's play, let's do a journey. All right, is everybody ready? Going to take a quick sip of water. All right, everybody, let's play. This is going to be beautiful. It's just going to be such a beautiful reunion with your own soul. Going to be connecting with a beautiful creator being. You're going to stand in front of them and feel their energy. They'll be feeling your energy. And there'll be a moment where, you know, you get to lay your cards out in front of this creator being of, this is what my life's been like. I don't like it, or I like it. And I want acceleration, either one. And I want acceleration, right? I want awakening. I want those penny drops. I want speed to awakening. All right, everybody, closing the eyes, taking a nice deep breath. Oh my goodness, this is so exciting. Sometimes we do this. I'd like you to imagine an escort angelic being standing in front of you. It seems to me that we're going to be traveling quite high to the realms of the creator beings. So we've got a beautiful angel being standing in front of us. And next to you, you can feel and see and sense, or know, don't worry about seeing anything, just know. There's a huge golden column of light, and your angel being is stepping into that column with you. And if you feel to, you can embrace the angel with a beautiful hug in the arms of an angel. Foreheads to foreheads, if you wish. Moment of connection. And immediately we're being pulled up this column of light. So beautiful. What's beautiful is the incredible feeling of love and safety with this angelic being, traveling upwards, moving up, connecting with your beautiful angel being as you're traveling up. This elevator of light is going to travel for quite a way. So we're just going to switch on hyperdrive and feel as though we're moving incredibly fast, kind of like just the speed of light, maybe moving incredibly fast. We can feel the wind on the top of our heads as we're shooting upwards. Keep going, everybody, keep traveling upwards. Far, far above us is a little tiny little starburst of light. It's just such a long way away, far, far above. And we're moving at such a speed. And suddenly we're moving through a stargate, a portal. And we are right next to a huge, giant star burst of light. And very quickly, both you and your angelic escort, beautiful angel being, together, maybe holding hands, are stepping out of your golden elevator and are now flying straight into the center of this giant force field of light, into the center of it. Wow. And as you're flying into the center of it, I'd love you to just pretend that a door opens and you and your angelic being step through the door, and the light on the other side of that door is so intense, you just can't see anything. Can you come to a stop? It's just so intense. It's bearing down on you, this light, and it's kind of soaking into you in this very, very powerful way. And your beautiful angelic being is standing next to you, keeping you company. And now out of this light in front of you, just emerging out of the light, comes this very tall being. I'm seeing this being with a tall headdress, some kind of gems on the headdress or crystals, long robes. And this being is just quietly standing there. They're kind of laughing. This being is kind of laughing because they're letting me know that they're just presenting that sense, that image of like a human shape, but really they are just pure light, pure energy in truth. So I'd love you to stretch your hand out, and this being holds your hand for a moment. And you look into this being's energy, into their face, just for a moment, feeling their love, feeling their power. And this being turns around, still holding your hand. Your beautiful angel escort has just stepped back a little bit. And you and this being holding hands walk towards a giant magical mirror. And in this mirror, you can see a light, a powerful light. And this light is your vast angelic soul being. Take your time and just sense and feel and just know instantaneously what is showing up on that mirror. If you like, you can step through the mirror and into becoming this enormous light being that you are. Feel the light expanding, the light that you are as this being. Feel it expanding right out to the edge of the universe. And feel inside of you now a feeling of, it sounds a bit strange for a being like that, but kind of anxiousness, kind of slight impatience, because you can feel Mother Earth suffering. And there's a feeling in you just rising up of longing, but also, hey, this needs me to show up down there on planet Earth. This needs me to arrive and bring my light. So just that feeling, that longing, that, yeah, just a knowing in you that it has to happen. You've got to go down. You've got to make that change, make that shift with your light. It's almost as though Mother Earth and you have an invisible umbilical cord that you're feeling between each other. It's almost as though you're feeling almost responsible for a situation where shadow is quite dominant or creating havoc. No need to get too logical about why you feel responsible, but there is a feeling of responsibility. There's also a feeling of power and capability in you. And I'd like you to feel right now, as that vast angelic being, that you jump into your human body and feel how it feels a little bit squishy, tight. It's like, oh my God, is this comfortable or is it not comfortable? I've arrived here in my body, in your adult body in this moment. So your huge angelic light being has jumped into your human self right now. And still that little bit of impatience and that feeling of power, real power of light is still with you. And you know in this moment that just being, not doing anything, just being, holding that light, pumping it, showing it, setting it free so that it radiates. It's an energetic thing, everyone. This is an energy matrix. So letting your light pour down the matrix, pour through the quantum background fields as you sit in a human body. This is your role. This is why you decided to squish into a human body, to hold this light and to let it pump, radiate, pour out of you. Slightly uncomfortable because you're such a big, big being of light. So I'd like you just to pull out and come back up to where we were in the realms of the creator beings as your huge being of light that you are. And now you're standing looking into that mirror once more. And the mirror dissolves and you turn to look at that creator being who's still holding your hand. And in this moment, I'd love you to ask this creator being for help to shine your light as you walk and talk as a human. Big moment here, a moment of a contract, of an agreement that they help you remember who you are as a vast being of light. I'm watching this incredible creator being reach their hand out and touch your third eye, gently reaching deep into you as a being, awakening your third eye. When they touch any part of your auric fabric, there's instantaneous download of spirit intelligence, awakening codes instantaneously, and at the same time melting of not remembering, melting auric scar tissue, fear, hesitation, doubt. So this being right now is focusing very much on your third eye. It's so beautiful. I'm watching this being kind of very, very gently connecting with your third eye, almost like stroking a kitten, just so gently, so lovingly. Oh my goodness. So as it's doing this, the third eye is like blooming like a flower, an awakening. This is an incredible moment, I have to say. Such a gift. And I'm watching now as you're standing there with the creator being that there's a semicircle of attending healing beings standing behind you and around you, sending their love, creating like a cocoon of energy around you as you're standing there. So much love, so much deep respect for you, so much healing energy in this moment. And what they're doing, they're showing me, is they are downloading just a ton of light into your sphere. And this light is pulsing through this cocoon of energy around you, soaking into you. They're just telling me it's so much high spirit love software is downloading into you in this moment. It's like a great bath. So I'm being told that you can come back anytime to this replay and bring yourself back to this moment to receive the gift of this light download and also further awakening of your third eye. Oh my goodness, how powerful is that? So what I'd love you to do now is to stand in front of this creator being And I'm going to give you just a quick moment to let them know what you need. So this is you requesting help for your life. Very important moment as well. Give them specifics, things that are not going well, realities that are not going well in your personal life. It's very important that you and your creator being learn to work together to reshape realities in your personal life so that you grow and you feel loved by God, Goddess, all that is, by God's source, so that you feel loved by life. And remember that these creator beings treat you as a great soul of light in a very, very temporary situation as a human. So they listen very carefully. They want to help you. They want to help your mission. And they are asking me to say to you, rest assured, you are being listened to very carefully. Okay, everyone, I'd like you to just do a little bow, perhaps to your creator being. Let them know that you feel loved by them, to thank them so much for coming, downstepping their energy all the way for them to be with us today. I recommend when you go back and enjoy finding this sacred space again, always use the replay, the sound of my voice. It's like a ritual, a focus ritual, an attention ritual to get there, to get to the right coordinate point in spirit space so that the right people show up. So taking a deep breath, everyone, opening your eyes when you're ready. Lorraine, it's so, oh my gosh, we've got one foot in one world and another foot in this world.
I speak for everyone here, Alicia. Oh my God. That light is palpable and it's so refreshing. I feel like I am 500 times bigger right now. I've got goosebumps all over. That I just love this. This is so beautiful. This is a true remembrance, and it feels so powerful. Wow. Again,
Thank you
we
so
can
much.
see the world has shifted, and we can see how this light is instantaneously healing, supportive, expansive. Thank you.
Mhm.
And to the creator beings, and to thank our own beautiful, gigantic, angelic self.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. We're going to add this to our recent Light Body Summit series as an encore, because it is truly an epitome of the work that we're doing here. It is our path with the light. And so that's going to be beautiful. I got that as I was receiving this. And then to feel, and I know others, as they communed with the creator being and the light and asking for the light in our lives, in our realities. Wow. Let's continue and go ahead and listen to the replay and come back to this and continue working with it in this way, because there's so much that they can help with. That was very clear to me. It seems like, how can they help with certain external things? But no, when this light shifts within us in this way, that is solution energy that we are engulfed in. And so I can't articulate the solutions right now, but I feel them. And it feels so good. Again, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lorraine. And thank you to the
Uh,
creator beings that arrived, and our beautiful escort angel, and those beautiful healer beings, that team that just radiated so much love and healing into our beautiful big angel self. And oh my gosh, that moment where the creator being was just connecting with our third eye, literally like this. It was just this, oh my God, this moment of like, like it was connecting with the little kitten, you know, just, oh my gosh, like deep in our third eye.
so we will all witness how we integrate this in our lives, and maybe journal about it, everyone, and let us know how you're doing, because again, every time we're in this space with the creator beings, we are expanded so much. And then this awareness is the acceleration on our journey. And we're taught to trust in this light and this feeling. And again, it overrides all the doubt. There's no doubt, there's no worry right now. We are in love with the light. We are full of the light. Wow. Okay.
We really need so much help, don't we, Lorraine? Just to form these highways back to our soul selves, so that remembrance, that knowing, that beingness of that vast soul self just walks with us and sits quietly in our hearts all the time. That's the beauty, that's the gift, you know, of returning to that in this lifetime. Oh my goodness, big gift wrapped up in big red ribbon.
And what did I hear in the middle of this as we went back down into the human body? Yes, this spirit makes my jeans look big. Yes, this spirit makes my jeans feel tight. It's a joke, but that's how elated we are. So thank you for this. All right. Well, everyone, thank you for this light, because I know it's this group's energy as well that helped us feel it so spectacularly, but it's the creator beings that you work with. And so as we prepare to say goodbye, I want you to spend a moment and talk about a special offer. I'm going to put that in our chat line here, because this is an acceleration. It's an acceleration package that the creator beings brought through you for everyone to work with on a deeper level with the creator beings. Tell us about this special offer, Alicia.
Thank you, Lorraine. So as mentioned earlier, there's packages of recordings that take us into learning curves about these creator beings, why they've come, who they are, recounting even in even more detail the story of this universe and how shadow and light, we're birthed in this universe. So this course I've got for package 1, I've got this course of 7 different recordings. It's a collection where you move through an explanation, a much deeper explanation of the authority levels of these creator beings. Not a theoretical situation at all, but just awakening in you the awareness of who they are and moving into beautiful healings and processes and more time spent in front of them, where they open your heart, where they teach you how to generate realities from that precious vibration of your heart, which is the soul self leaking into the physical dimension. So these modules are processes, journeys. We go up the elevators, we meet again with these creator beings, get to know them, spend time in front of them, and they travel deep into our Akashic soul wounds, but also teach us about that core vibration of love. One of these modules is just based completely on, from a creator being's point of view, what is love? What is that vibration? What does it do? What does it switch on? So this course is called Creator Being Acceleration, 7 modules. The very last module, some people just can't say enough about this last module, module 7, how light and dark battle for this universe, the high story of your soul, how this reality manifests, who controls this universe, the backstory of light and shadow, a story of your high soul's agenda, why your soul has come into the physical dimension, how we as sentient beings learn and how we choose, the original dynamic of shadow and light in our universe, and then what happened, and moving right through that story. It's that last module on its own is just an incredible gift for you to remember who you are. So that's package A has that course, Creator Being Acceleration, and package B adds to that 6 months of live workshopping, where every month we have a live stream for 1.5 hours, where these creator beings, according to the energy of the moment each month and of what's needed in that moment, we get workshopped, taken up, flying up into the worlds of spirit. Oh my goodness, these really truly are beyond our imagination, beyond our logic, in terms of what happens in those 1.5 hour workshops every month. So there's a package of 6 months of that. Life-changing, every single one of them. Actually, universe-changing, every single one of those monthly live streams. Sincerely, they are. So that was just a quick overview there of the 2 packages that are available today.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, today is such a gift. It really is. You always bring such a gift of light and love that is so palpable for us. And that's what makes you such a popular teacher. We love it. And we have rave comments coming in about those who are with us that have used your packages. And they're just really kudos to you. They are universe changing. So thank you. And everyone, thank you for sharing the comments of how you received that. Alicia, as we say goodbye, I'll let you read those comments, but wow, so extraordinary. We are lit up with light. And I want to say that the light, as we remember this light of our angelic giant selves, that earlier I had a question. My logic mind was saying, do we need to witness the shadow? We can feel the shadow, and we can totally feel how the light dissolves the shadow. So reinforcing and so encouraging those words that you shared about how the light dissolves the shadow. So it's beautiful. And so the journey, we can see how this accelerates with the light. And so thank you for bringing us the light with the creator beings today.
Thank you, Lorraine. Thank you. Oh my gosh. And you know, what you've just said is so spot on and has just on point, completely touched the main point. And these creator beings are asking me to say to you, Lorraine, you are so on point. this light. It is all about the light. It is all about the quotient of this light in your auric field, tripping those dominoes into awakening, right? Tripping that whole process, deep, deep subliminals into awakening. It's the light. It's the software that actually is so potent, so really unbelievably potent, that starts to retrain your consciousness to remember and to walk and talk and be that great soul that you are.
It's why we embodied, and we remember that now. And it's so wonderful. And maybe, I know we're going to go here, but I just had one question that popped up and it feels relevant now. The universe, there's shadow all over the universe. We're focused here on this planet. That's enough of a task at hand. But as we do this work right here on this planet, wow, are our other parallel selves, our other selves, is it affected all across the universe then?
It's such a powerful question. So Mother Earth is the you could say the end of the earth. It's in a little corner of the universe, and there's huge focus on Mother Earth because sentience is here. Sentient souls have birthed into this physical spot in the physical universe. So it's a playground, it's a garden for sentient souls where they choose fear, love or fear. So there's huge in the spirit universe, huge focus on planet Earth, and supporting the experiment of sentience. So again, brave souls that have incarnated into this experiment, to shine their light. And that is also why, fascinatingly, in the worlds of spirit, in these huge currents of shadow and light playing against each other, there is so much focus on who is owning, who's the dominant resonance in the background fields, because it's the background fields that show up on the reality screen. So so there's just so much. It's a strange juxtaposition, but it's all about this incredible dynamic of souls having incarnated inside physicality, and showing up on stage, in this physical density. It's kind of like being on stage because you're an actor, with clothes on, like playing out as an actor, playing out a character. And so the full focus of the universe and the universes actually is playing out here. So it's a really, really interesting. Oh my God, I've got images of people with telescopes looking down into this physical plane and onto Mother Earth. It's kind of like the final frontier. Isn't that wild? It's like, who is going to win, shadow or light? And that's why in this moment, great question. In this moment, we are here because we're here to come into our full light and reveal it. Let our light be shone. And I always say you can do that sitting in your armchair at home in your lounge. You don't even have to walk out your front door. And it's a quiet agreement between you and your creator being support teams where you give permission, see, as a human. You go, yep, do it. Accelerate me. Let's flick the switch. Let's go.
Yes, let's accelerate. Let's accelerate. So beautiful. What a beautiful gift. Again, we'll say one more time. And we are radiant. We are radiant with light. And we've got this. And as I've read in a comment, we've got a lot of light to shine. So let's do it, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for shining your light, for sharing your light. Wow. Alicia, again, deep gratitude for you and the creator beings, and for you to receiving the tap on your shoulder so many years ago and trusting and continuing with this work. Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Lorraine. Thank you for
Thank
being
you
such a
all.
beautiful space holder.
Yeah. We're
Thanks,
flying.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Enjoy your day, your evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet, which is now lit up with all of our light. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.